1, 2, 3.
Howdy folks, this is Rowdy here. Welcome to Foothills of Appalachia. Today's video, we're trying to beat the rain. We work a full-time job and we get home and don't have much time to work, but it's supposed to start raining again tomorrow, and it's just now got dry enough to till. And you can see I got my garden all tilled up nice and fluffy and ready to go, and I've laid off 3 rows right here with a string, and it's about to get dark on me. And anyways, I got some okra right here I'm going to plant in the first row, and then it's going to be dark. So we got some crimson spineless okra, and we have a real time saver right here. This is an Earthway planter. It has different plates that you can put in it. You can plant carrots, beets, okra, peas, beans, corn, all kinds of corn. It's got 2 sizes for sweet corn and regular corn. So I got the okra plate in there. So all you gotta do is dump your seed in a hopper. It should be enough to plant the row. Then I've already put my fertilizer in my row and already mixed it in, and now all I do is plant it. It's going to plant it about 1 inch deep, but it cuts a little furrow, drops the seed, little chain comes by, drags dirt over top of it and covers it up, and the back wheel packs it down firm, and you're ready to go. So here we go. One thing I forgot to mention is I do like to go 2 times. Make 2 passes. It drops them about every 2-3 inches, somewhere around there. But I make 2 passes and plant it extra thick, and you can always thin it out. It's harder to go back and replant it and work around your plants that's already coming up. So I just make 2 passes, get a good stand of okra, then I'll go through and thin it out later. And that is a lot quicker than doing it by hand. Okay, so right here we have a trellis in the garden from one end to the other. Yesterday I planted butternut squash to here, and then I planted cucumbers right here to about right here, I think, cucumbers. I'm going to plant some more cucumbers over there in another place, a different variety. Then I got some mountain white half runner beans planted right here, and then on the very end down there I have some apple gourds. They're a great big gourd. My wife, she'll have to insert a picture, but they're a big gourd, and if you cut the stem off and leave it on sticking up, it looks just like a giant apple. I mean, it's made exactly like an apple. I planted some of those for my wife. She's going to do crafts with those.
1, 2, 3.
And behind the camera lady here, we have our tomatoes we put out and pepper. These are mountain pride tomatoes, and we have poblano, I think that's how you pronounce it, pepper on that end, and on the other end we have sweet bell pepper. And it's about to get dark, so we're gonna have to get with it. Okay, this is the next day. The rain missed us right here at the house, but it's been raining all around us, and I guess it's the good Lord blessing me, allowing me to have enough time to get my garden planted. But last night I left you planting the okra. We planted one full row of okra right here. And behind me right here I have a row here and a row here. I planted 2 rows of hickory king corn. And right here I planted some peas. They were my grandpa's peas. They're very old seed. I don't know if they'll come up or not. I may have to plant a different kind, but I'd never heard of them. But my grandfather's been passed away for 20 years, and my grandmother recently passed away. And so we was going through everything, and I found a metal popcorn tin about that big around, and it was half full of peas and had mothballs in it. My uncle found them and gave them to me, and he said they were whippoorwill peas. I've never heard of, but I hope and pray they do come up. If they don't, we'll plant some other kind. And it was dark. I was out here I had to get out here with a headlamp, but I kept working. I was trying to outrun the rain. And over here, I made a row right here, and I've got 10 hills healed up out through there. I got 3 hills of cantaloupes and 7 hills of watermelons. And those watermelons were my grandpa's watermelon seed that he's had for years and years and years. I don't know how many years, but he's had them longer than I'd been alive. I really don't know what kind they are. I've looked through seed catalogs, and I cannot find a watermelon that matches it. It looks like it, and it looks like the same seed. I cannot find one, so I don't know what variety they are. But they're a really good watermelon. They get long, pretty long, and they got real small seeds in them, but they're very good, and I hope and pray that they do good this year. And that's what we got done. And it was pretty late last night. I pulled my boots off and went in the house, and it was 11:18. So I worked till past dark 30. Right here, I have a raised garden bed. It's a 4 feet wide by 10 feet long. I have a cattle panel hooped across it from one end all the way to the other. And I usually plant squash in this. And I've prepared one end of it over here. I've dug it up and loosened it up and smoothed it all out and put some fertilizer in it. And I made this is what you call a hill. Just mounded it up a little bit. This is the way the old timers used to do it, and that's the way I was taught to do it. So I mounded it up, and I put 10-10-10 fertilizer in it, and I put some chicken compost in it. And I worked the fertilizer in, I smoothed it all out, and I have some straight neck squash I'm going to put in it. And then on the end I got a long, it says long green improved cucumber. They're big long, they're real crispy, good eating cucumber. The other cucumbers I planted in the main garden are straight 8 pickling cucumbers, which they're good to eat too if you don't let them get too big. But I'm going to plant these cucumbers on each end of this garden bed, and they'll climb this wire panel, and it makes it very easy to pick your cucumbers. Very easy to come out here and pick off the squash bugs, and it's just a lot neater looking. But on this end, I still got to dig it up and work it up, but I have some onions here that overwintered, and I'm saving the seeds off of them. I already collected some of the seeds right here, which is a lot. And I'm going to go ahead and pull those up, and what other seeds I can get off of them, I'll save them. But on this end, I'm going to put cucumbers on this end too, and then on right here where the onions are, I'm going to put zucchini squash. All right, I have my squash. This is straight neck yellow squash. The way I always plant them, I usually put about 5 seeds per hill. It's better to put a little bit extra and then not enough, because usually something will happen to 1 or 2 of them. Something will cut it down and you'll have to replant again if you don't plant many, but I usually plant 5. I'll just kind of spread them out like spokes on a wheel like that, and then I'll just push them in about 1 inch deep like that. Remember, I already put fertilizer in this, not much, just lightly. Push them about 1 inch deep and then just smooth it over like that right there. And so that's ready. And I have my cucumbers right here, and if all of them come up and something don't happen to them, that'll be fine. If you have too many, you can always pull 1 or 2 up, thin them out. But it's better to have more and thin them out than not to have enough and have to replant. So I have my long green improved cucumbers right here, and I'm going to put them about 6 inches apart. I always put more because I can always thin them out. And I do them just like a squash, just push them down with your finger about 1 inch deep. And then smooth it over, cover it back over with dirt. And that's what I'm going to do to the other end of the bed too, but I've got to get that side ready. I got to pull up the onion. Drive in and what I can get out of them, I'll save. They gotta go. Time for them to go. What are you going to do with these onions, Angel? You going to freeze them, or how you going to store them? Just cook fresh or what?
I'll probably leave a few of them out to be fresh and freeze the others.
They're not big, but they got to go. Okay, right here in the middle of our bed, we have, right beside where the onions were, we have some leeks. There's not many of them, but they've been here all winter too, and they're putting on a flower head. And my plan is to leave them right there where they're at until they flower out, and I'm going to try to save some seeds off of them for now. So I'll just leave them right where they're at. Right here, I'm gonna mount me up another hill and plant me some zucchini squash right here.